Well, Trish is here with me. We have lots of viewer emails this morning, but before we get to that, the Kiwi in focus simply because the central bank left rates unchanged.
Left rates unchanged, of course, and traders are saying that given the statement in the central bank, it seems that they may not cut interest rates any further from here because the governor actually said further rate cuts might not weaken the Kiwi dollar.
But he has not ruled out.
He has not ruled
further
out
rate cuts.
Exactly. They said that rates are going to be low and at current levels or lower, but they've also indicated that the signs of the green shoots around, globally. But actually, that's not so much the main focus for today's bulk of the statement. It was how Bollard actually went in about the risk of central bank intervention, because he went on a lot about how the strength of the Kiwi dollar, which has risen about 25% in 3 months, that's affecting exports recovery, and they're quite concerned that it could actually derail the economic recovery if this continues to be the case. So markets is not sure that this could be a very strong signal from the central bank of possible intervention.
Although we have had houses coming out to say that they expect intervention because they can't see the Kiwi railing even further.
Exactly, and that's why people expect that even today's gains in the Kiwi dollar, I think it's about 1.3%. The last I checked, they say that it could be limited from here on, and they're actually thinking this is a good level to go into to short the currency.
Do we expect Governor Bollard to come out to say that perhaps, yes, we may need to intervene?
He gave a pretty mixed signal, actually, between the statement and his comments, because in the statement he actually said that, the RBNs actually said, went on about how the strong Kiwi dollar is actually affecting exports-led recovery. But in his statement to the Parliament later on, he actually said there's very little that the RBNZ can do to prevent the strength of the Kiwi dollar. So market's seeing it's a bit of a mixed signal there. But they're not ruling out the fact that it could possibly intervene.
Of course, we'll get more clarity when we speak to the governor himself slightly later in the show. Now, on to the Kiwi. There's a question here about the outlook for the Kiwi. I mean, sorry, the Aussie. I'm getting all confused here. The Aussie. Is it largely tied to whether the U.S. equities market continues to advance?
Actually, I would think that the main driver of the Australian dollar is more of the commodity story and Chinese demand for commodities rather than the U.S. equities. Of course, it all ties in with risk appetite. When risk appetite strengthens, then the U.S. stocks strengthens, and of course risk appetite for all emerging currencies and those that are tied in with global growth story, like the Australian dollar, would strengthen as well. But I think there's a stronger correlation to commodities theme and Chinese demand rather than U.S. equities.
Still commodities. Now, let's touch on the one. Goldman raises Korea's one forecast. I mean, there's optimism. Is that because of oil rising and the shipping outlook as well, correct?
They are saying that there have been signs that the external sector and the domestic sector for Korea, especially the stimulus packages that the government has come up with, is doing quite a bit of work. And in fact, today we have a Bank of Korea actually keeping rates unchanged again. So it just goes to show the amount of confidence that the central bank has in the revival of the domestic economy.
Stan wrote in to ask about the outlook for the Hong Kong dollar. I think if Stan had listened to our conversation yesterday, he wouldn't be asking this question. But you know what? Let's do him a favor. I mean, the outlook for the Hong Kong dollar, which is tied to...
Yeah, exactly. Which is tied to the U.S. dollar, of course. The index there, people are saying, okay, we actually had a Bloomberg confidence survey index where they expected the U.S. dollar will weaken. So I suppose that's where the Hong Kong dollar is heading towards. But looking out into 1 to 2 years' time, on a time frame, the main theme is going to be when the Hong Kong dollar is, the regime is actually revised to be pegged to the Chinese yuan rather than the U.S. dollar.
All right, Trish.